When graphing systems of inequalities, it helps if you just take it one step at a time. So notice that I've got these color coded here. So we've got a pink one and a blue one. So our pink one, I'm first going to identify the slope and our y-intercept, just so it makes it easier for me to graph. So I know that my slope is always attached to x, so it's going to be that -3, and I'm just going to put it over 1, so I remember that I've still got to go over 1. And then our y-intercept is going to be 5, so that's going to be at 0, 5. So what that's going to look like is if I start out at my y-intercept, 3, 4, 5, so I'll be up here. And then our slope is -3, 1, so I'm going to go down 3 and then over 1. Notice that my inequality sign right here is just greater than, so there's not that line underneath, so it's going to be a dotted line for this one. And then for blue, we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to look at blue, my slope, and my y-intercept. My slope, I notice that there's not a number in front of x, so I know that that's going to be 1. And then my y-intercept will be -2, so my point will look like 0, -2. So I'm going to graph that really quick. So at 0, -2 is my first point. My slope is 1, so I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Notice that our inequality sign is a less than or equal to, so it's going to be a solid line through here. Pretend that's a straight line. And now is when we need to figure out how to shade. It's like what shading is going to look like. So for my pink one, I'm going to plug in my test point of 0, 0. I think 0, 0 is always the easiest to plug in if it doesn't go through it. So if I get my test point, so I've got 0 is greater than 5, which does not work. So because that doesn't work, I'm going to shade away from that 0, 0. For my blue, I'm going to plug in 0, 0 as well for my test point. So I get that 0 is less than or equal to -2. Well, that's also false. So that doesn't work. So that means I'm going to shade away from my 0, 0. With your systems of inequalities, you're trying to see where the shading overlaps. So notice that my shading overlaps right here where I'm highlighting. So that would end up being my solution. So I could plug in any of the points that are highlighted right here into my system of inequalities and it would work. If you guys have any questions on this, please let me know.